Hello, welcome to smiklearn. So, in today's session, we are going to see the React programming part 2. In React programming part 2 session, we are going to see some of the features of the React programming. So, there are some basic features we have in the React programming. One is JSX. JSX is nothing but JavaScript XML. Actually, I said in the previous session extended. Actually, XML is itself is an extended one. So it's an extended markup language. So I said JavaScript extended. Actually, it's a JavaScript XML. Okay. And then next feature we are going to see is advanced JSX. And then we are going to see virtual DOM, that is React DOM. The next feature we are going to see is virtual DOM, the React DOM. A virtual DOM is nothing but is a document object model. So I'll be explaining all these things in the in today's sessions, and then we are going to see what are the elements which is available in the React programming. We should know what is components, how to write components, and then we'll see how to write functional components in React programming. In previous session, we have seen how to create a new React app. Okay, so in this session, we'll open that app, which I already created here, my app. Okay, so in that app, I'm just going to open this folder in the Visual Studio Code. So I'll show you how to open that. Just say CMT. It will open a command prompt. So you can see here, training my underscore app. Then you have to say code dot. It will be automatically opening that Visual Studio Code, where you can see the Visual Studio Code here. Okay, this is the shortcut way of opening that particular folder in a Visual Studio Code. After opening this Visual Studio Code, you can minimize the run window here, terminal window here, by clicking this. Okay, so this terminal window will be closed automatically. You can close the terminal window here. The terminal window closed. We'll see the folders which are available in the new created React app. The main file is package.json. In this package.json, you can see the script here: start script, build script, test script, and eject script. So we are saying npm start, right? It will be running this React script start. If we say npm run build, it will run this React script build. Okay, so this script is for running the React.js program, and you can see the app name. This is my app. This is the name of the app which we have created this, and then this is the version. What version we are started the programming, and then private equal to true means this project is for private only. Okay, and then we have the dependencies. So what all dependencies we have? These are the packages which will be installed automatically when we create a new React app. Okay, so this React version currently we are using is 18.1.1. This is the current version we are using, and then we have the React DOM package, which is also 18.9.1.1, 18.3.1, and then we have the React script, which is for running the start and build, test and eject, and then we have the Web Vitals. Web Vital is nothing but this is one of the package for monitoring our coding. Actually, this is not needed. We can remove this in the previous session. Okay. So now we'll go move on to the next one. The main file we call it as index.js. So every React.js program starts with index.js, where it starts from there, and then we can see the import. I have imported the React. This will be importing the React, and then React DOM element, and then index.css, and then app.php. Okay, so you can see here constant root is equal to react dom create root document get element by root. So what is this actually? This line consists of. Where does this root consist of? If you go to public folder, you can see index.html. In that index.html, you can see here div by id root. So whenever a React.js is start running the program, it starts from here, id equal to root. So inside this div by id only, that React.js program will be running. So that only in index.js, they have called it as document get element by id root. So this will create a root element. Okay. In that root element, they are going to render this HTML. Okay. So they are going to render this page. So render means nothing but it will be displaying that page inside that root element. So React dot root dot render. Root dot render means in that root element you render this HTML element. Okay. So first element you are going to see is React dot strict mode. What does this React dot strict mode is nothing but a strict mode. You can see here strict mode is so strict mode is nothing but it will highlight the potential problem in the website. So any potential problem arises, this strict mode will arises the issue. Okay, that's for the strict mode. Don't think of extendedly. This is only for a simple sake. Okay, React. That is not compulsory. Okay. Now we have the index.css, which we are importing the CSS file as import. So in HTML we don't import. This is imported here. We have to import the CSS files here. And then we have to import the app file here, dot app. Dot app is nothing but it is in the current folder slash app. So it is importing app.js file. Okay. So that app.js file is we are calling it as a tag here. So this app is called as app tag here. So that will be rendered here. So we will call this app.js file. In the app.js file, you can see import logo for logo.svg. Okay, and then we have imported the CSS file. We should import this CSS file, right, like app.css. Dot slash means current folder. In the current folder, we have app.css. You can see here. This is app.css. Okay. Now, this starts with the function app. App is a function name. This is a function name we have to define in the React, and it should have a return. So this return is nothing but it will return HTML tags. So return will have only the HTML tags. And then you can write the functions if you want, you can write the functions here. So this is actually called as JSX. So JavaScript XML. JavaScript XML means it is a combination of both JavaScript, HTML, and then CSS. That is actually called as JSX. JSX is nothing but combination of HTML tags, and then we can write our own function inside the JavaScript here inside the function app, and then we can use the CSS file here. This is a combination of both the three classes. Okay, so this is we call it as JSX, JavaScript XML. Okay, and then this return function will return the HTML tags. So this div tag should have only this div tag should be a parent tag. Parent tag in the sense only one tag is allowed. No multiple divs will not be allowed here. You cannot say like this. It will say error. So multiple divs cannot be allowed here. Okay. So it should have only a parent tag. So this div is a parent tag where it has a class name app, and then we have the header tag, and then it should be end with the header div tag. Okay, this header tag is the predefined tag which is already available in the current React.js version. So this will be displayed as a header here, and then we have display the class name app header. This app header nothing but this comes from app.css. So you can see here app.css we have the app.header. Okay, this is the app.header where we have set the all the CSS material there. And then we have the header tag, and then we have the image tag, HTML image tag which displays the logo here. Source logo. Logo is a variable here it should be displayed using the curly braces. It should be displayed inside the curly braces. This logo is nothing but this is the logo. This logo will be displayed here. Okay, that path is dot logo dot svg. You have to say the path here, and then we have the class name, then alt group, and then we have the p tag here. In the p tag, yeah, we can display the text, whatever text you want. Okay, so this is the app.js, and then it should export default app. It should actually export default app. It should export the app. Then only we can call it as index.js. Then only it will be available here as an app. Okay, so that should be exported. Export default app. Default in the sense this is the only default app what we have. If you have multiple functions, you have to say export app. That's all. Here only one function we have, that will be default one. Okay, so that's what we can use. In that JS we can say app here. App in the sense this app, default app. Okay, that's we called as default app. Next we'll see some of the advanced JS concept in React. So some of the advanced JS concept is fragments. So what is fragments? Teaching you. And then what is conditional rendering? This is also one of the example of advanced JS concept. And then we have the loops. We can render the loops. These are examples we'll be discussing in the upcoming session. And then we have the portals. Portals also render like this. This is a portal. So these are the some of the advanced concepts of JSX. Advanced JSX concepts. Okay. So now first you'll see what is fragments. A fragment is nothing but if you want to render two or more divs. So suppose this is div one, another div you want, and you have to render some other value. Okay, I'm showing one example here. This is the advanced another div tag to be shown here. So to make this as a single tag, you can put this tag. This tag is called fragments. This is actually a fragment. Okay, to make two div into a single div, you can use fragments like this. A fragment is nothing but is a combination of main tags. So this fragment will become as the parent tag. Okay, so if we run this program, you can see the output here. You can run the output here. npm start. It will take time to render it, so I'll just stop it here. And next I will move on to the conditional rendering. The conditional rendering is based on the condition. This will be rendered here. That is called conditional rendering. Just see the simple example. Okay, don't think beyond. I'll be teaching in the upcoming session. And then we have the loops. The loops is nothing but you can use looping here, where it will be map user.map. It will be looping here. LA tag will be listed here. Okay, so this is one of the concept of advanced JSX. And then we have the portal, react create portal. These examples I'll be showing in the upcoming classes. So these are the examples of advanced JSX. So that's what we are seeing here, advanced JSX. Next we'll move on to virtual DOM. What is virtual DOM? A DOM is nothing but is a document object model. I said already. A virtual DOM, what is, there are two different types of DOM. One is a real DOM and then virtual DOM. Normally, any websites will be using only real DOM. Real DOM is nothing but whenever when you click on any links, any buttons, the page will getting refreshed. The whole page will get refreshed. The real DOM will be happened. Okay. Now virtual DOM does differently. Okay. Then what it will do is it will refresh the portion of the page. Not the entire page that will be getting refreshed. Only the portion of the page will be getting refreshed when there is any change in the state. That I will be discussing in the detailed thing. I'll show you what is virtual DOM also in the example. Okay. Now example of elements. Next we are going to see examples of elements. So in React.js we have elements, we can declare like this constant element h1 dot here. I'll just copy this and I'll run it here. Okay, I'll just copy it and paste it here. I'll put it here. Okay, no, I'll put it in the function name. Say constant element. Okay, and then I'll put it here element tag. Now I'll run this, and then we'll see the output. You can see the output here. This is another div tag to be shown here. That's what is showing here actually. And then we have the constant element also, hello world element, which is showed here. We'll see that element tag is showing out.
Now we'll see what is element here. Element is nothing but function app constant element. You can define the element like this, and you can say return element. Okay, so this is creating an element, but in hereafter you are going to create only the component. This is I am showing an example of an element. Okay, so we can define a single element like this, and we can say return element, and if you run this program, you can see the output here, hello world. So this is the way of creating an element in the React. Now we will see what is component. A component is nothing but this is the component actually. We call this as a component. So in React.js, we have to write each and every program as a component only. Here, this app is also one of the component here. So this will have the function app component and return the HTML tags. Okay, so this is the actually called as component. And what is functional component means we have to write using the function app. So all the programs we should write using only function app. Okay, function, using the function if you write, it is called as functional components. So in as a function component is nothing but as a it can be a minor programming code or major programming code, like buttons, text boxes, check boxes. We can create different components in React. We call this as React components. So in later session we can see how to create components, how to create functional components, how to render functional component, all we can see that. And also I'll show you how this virtual DOM works in the React programming. So in this session we'll close this. This is the final output of the program. So you can see the final output here. This is the final output. Okay, so I'll stop it here with this session. Thank you for all you guys.